You're listening to the Life Coaching Secrets Podcast, episode 122. Did you know that life coaches are needed now more than ever? I'm Frank Macri, founder of Thriving Coach Academy. I've trained over 1,000 coaches and helped them launch their own successful coaching businesses. If you want to make an incredible income and impact as a coach and have a lot of fun doing it, I'll show you exactly how to get it done. This is Life Coaching Secrets. What's up, coaches? In this episode, I'm going to talk about what you do when nothing seems to be working. So maybe you think at times, hey, I've been working on this thing my whole life and it's still not working. I'm going to share with you a way for you to understand how to handle that and what working really is. I think it's going to blow your mind. Before I go into that, a quick life update. I just got back from a 2-week solo trip to the United Kingdom, and I had such a blast. I explored London, and London is one of my favorite cities. I think it's up there. Rome is also one of my favorite cities, but I fell in love with London, and I was not expecting to. So London was incredible. I also went around England. So I went to Glastonbury, which is a very small town, known for more of like the spiritual sites in England. And then I went to the Avebury Stone Circle, which is the largest stone circle in the world. A lot of people think it's Stonehenge, but all the Brits were saying, skip Stonehenge and go to Avebury. I'm like, all right. And it was definitely worth it. So that was great. I met up with one of my friends up in Chester, and I met him about a decade ago when I was starting my coaching business. So I used to live in China, where I was an English teacher. I taught English for a couple of years at a middle school in southern China in a city called Shenzhen. And there were not many foreigners in the neighborhood I was living, but my British friend that I met out there, he was another English teacher. So we kept in touch all these years, and he showed me around his hometown, which was really awesome. And we went on a really gorgeous hike in the Peak District. I went to Liverpool, went to Manchester, went to Bristol, and then came on back down to London. And when I was in London, I ended my trip on the last day, I saw Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Now, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you probably have heard about it. It is a 2-part play where it talks about basically what happens after Harry Potter grows up, becomes a father, has some kids, and his kids go to Hogwarts. And I was blown away. If you are a Harry Potter fan, you need to make your way to London and see this. Apparently, they only show it in 4 theaters in the world, but it is a shortened version in New York, which is I think it's the only city in America that shows it. But London does the full 2-part, 5-hour, 6-hour total show. It's like 2.5 hours part 1. Then you have a break for a few hours and you go back into the theater and see the second part. It was so worth it. The effects on the stage, I never saw anything like it. And it just allowed me to geek out with everything Harry Potter. I loved it. So anyway, things have been good. Our students have been doing really well in the academy. We have our very first Thriving Coach Academy retreat that is coming up next month. This is a 2-day in-person retreat for our coaches and for our graduates. So if you were thinking of joining the academy, this is a great time because you can also join us at that retreat. Tickets are still available for registration for a little bit longer. We already have a lovely group of coaches that are going to be, most of them, flying in to attend this retreat. And I can't wait to meet a lot of our coaches and graduates in person. And there'll be lots of hugs. There will be lots of laughs. I've been working very, very diligently over the past several months preparing for that retreat because I want to make it a memorable experience for our coaches. So we cannot wait for that. That's been a lot of the talk inside Thriving Coach Academy, our very first in-person retreat. So this episode, let's talk about work. Now, you probably have some goals in your life where you start taking action and you get discouraged because you feel like it's not really working. You're not really getting the results that you want. What I want, and maybe it is because you're a coach. I know a lot of you are new, aspiring, and growing coaches that you're beginning to put yourself out there and you're questioning whether things are working. because you're not yet getting the clients or making the money that you want to be making. Okay. So because you're not having those results, you are coming to the conclusion that something is not working. Okay. This is a very common and very limiting thought to have. And you want to notice it when your clients, if they have the thought it's not working. Because the principle I want to share with you in this episode, the hypothesis, if you will, my hypothesis, or my thesis, that's probably the more appropriate word, the thesis of this episode is that work is always working. Okay, work is always working. Now just sit with that phrase for a moment. What if work is always working? So the reason that you might think that something is not working is because you don't really know what working is. So let me explain this to you. Let me expand on my thesis. So let's imagine that work is a two-sided coin. Okay, and when that coin lands on heads, it means that something is working for you. Okay, it means that the work feels right. It's paying you lots of money. There's lots of clients rolling in, lots of celebrations that are happening. Okay, so it's working for you. But then when it lands on tails, it's working on you. Okay, it's working on you. And when you realize this, you will come to understand there's no such thing as work that doesn't work, because all work works. Work is always working. It's either working for you or it's working on you. Follow me so far? Good. So when you get this, you're going to stop being so disillusioned and thinking that something's not working just because it's not working for you in that moment. Okay? The work that you are working on that's not working for you will work on you until you become the person for whom it can work for. Let me say that one more time. So the work that you are working on that's not working for you will work on you until you become the person for whom it can work for. Isn't that mind-blowing? So this whole thesis, it challenges this notion that a lot of people have that if work doesn't immediately work for you, then it should be discarded or it's a failure or there's something wrong with you. Okay? Instead, what we're doing here is we're allowing you to see every kind of work, every kind of experience as a stepping stone and as an opportunity for your own personal growth. Okay? So oftentimes work, when it's working on you, it's inviting you to grow and work on yourself and realize that that is an integral part of the journey towards you achieving your goals and your aspirations. Now, how might this be relevant for you as a coach? Because as a coach, when you embark on your journey and grow your business, you're going to have many setbacks and challenges. That's just playing the game. But you want to understand the dual nature of work so that way you stay encouraged. So here's how it might show up for you. Firstly, when you're learning new coaching skills. So early on in your journey as a coach, you might feel uncertain about various coaching skills and the effectiveness of those skills. Okay. Now, when you're investing your time in training and you're getting feedback and you're getting all those practical experiences, that is the work that's being done on you. Because you might learn a skill and then use it with a client and you're just like, wait, why didn't it work? It didn't work for me. It's working on you. As you become more skilled and experienced and your confidence grows, then you're going to start to see those positive client outcomes and get those testimonials, okay? Because you're going to be like, wait, I'm coaching, but I don't yet have these amazing breakthroughs with my clients yet. Well, the work is working on you before it works for you. Okay, another big area is when you're building up your client base and marketing yourself. So you will likely have difficulties attracting your initial clients and building up a substantial client base. And that is the phase when the work is working on you. You follow me here? So this experience is going to work on you because as you are going through that struggle, you are learning how to refine your marketing strategies. You're learning how to become a more powerful communicator, and you're learning how to get a deeper understanding of your audience. So that's the work that's being done on you. Over time, you're going to become more effective at marketing and connecting with potential clients. And eventually it's going to work for you in the form of those paying clients that you've attracted and the loyal clients that you are maintaining. Now, when you are putting yourself out there, you're likely going to experience some form of rejection. Okay. You might have organizations that reject you or individuals that reject you. They're just not interested in your coaching services. Now, this could be very disheartening when you don't have this perspective. But what if you saw every rejection that you faced as the work working on you? Okay. It's helping you become more resilient. It is allowing you to grow and refine your approach. And it's teaching you how to be persistent. The work is always working. It's just working on you. And then as you continue to improve and evolve, you become the person who it can now work for. You become the person who is equipped to take on high-level clients, have organizational and business partnerships. And eventually, everything is now working for you. So when I got started, I wish I had this perspective. I had to learn it the hard way because I expected everything to start working right away. So I spent a lot of my first year behind the screen hiding, making a very fancy website. And I'm like, why is this not working? I have the website, I have my bio, I have my coaching rates, I have a nice definition of what coaching is. And I'm like, why isn't it's not working? So I dealt with a lot of uncertainty. And then I realized, I think I need to go out there and actually meet people and have conversations and network and really talk about my coaching and make those offers to people and all that. So I started doing that. And then I experienced lots of rejection. And I sometimes had people look at me and after hearing I was a life coach and laugh in my face. And it was very difficult for me at times, but I got stronger after every single conversation. I got stronger after every failure because it taught me how to be persistent. It taught me how to be confident. It taught me how to believe in myself. So the work was always working. It was working on me. And it needed to work on me until I became the confident, strong coach who was then able to take on those clients and it then work for me. Remember, the work that you're working on that's not working for you is going to work on you until you become the person for whom it can work. All right? So when I got started out and I was doing some workshops and putting them together, my very first workshop, nobody showed up. And when I went home, at first I was feeling very discouraged because I spent this time promoting this workshop and no one showed up to it. But I realized that the work was working on me, right? I wasn't yet the person in whom it could work for. So I needed to continue to put myself out there and strengthen my voice and my confidence, right? I was not the person. Like imagine if, to really put this in perspective, imagine when I was getting started, because I was very insecure and shy and I was afraid to share my voice and I had a lot of insecurities about myself and how I sounded and how I looked and all those things. Imagine if the first time I promoted a workshop, I had 300 people show up. It would be so ridiculous. It would be insane. I would not be available for that. So even though on one hand we say we want things to work for us, I do believe, and might sound a little bit spiritual or woo-woo, but I do believe that the universe is giving us what we're available to receive. I believe that the universe is always providing us with what we're ready for. I believe that when it comes to money, I believe it when it comes to opportunities. So until you become the person, you will not yet receive the outcomes and the results. right? So a lot of you might think, oh, I want to make $1 million as a coach, but are you the person who's really available for receiving that? Right? You might think I want everything to work for me, and I want to have, 20 clients that I'm working with, each of those clients spending $10,000 each to work with me. Are you really the person that's available to receive that? Like, are you already embodying what that is? And what I believe is if you're not having those results now, then the answer is no. So you need to let the work on you more before it can work for you. Okay, so when I started doing those workshops, I had nobody attend. I wasn't yet available to have a full room of people at a workshop. I wasn't yet available to be making money from the workshops. So then I went out there and posted about another one and marketed the next workshop, and I had one person attend. And it was an amazing experience. I had a great conversation. I still remember her name was Mary, and she had a big impact on me because it was like one of the first times I still delivered the workshop to the audience of one. And it was one of the first times that I remember thinking, wow, I can really do this. Wow, okay, this is possible. Wow, people will find value in what I have to share. And it was thanks to Mary. It was thanks to the universe sending me what I was available to receive. So again, it was working on me because now I was building more confidence in myself. That was all I was really available to receive because of the version of who I was at the time. And then after that, I did another workshop. And can you guess how many people attends that next one? The answer is 2. So my business coach that I had at the time, she's like, wow, well, you had 100% increase in your previous one. I went from 1 to 2. I doubled my attendance rate. And I've noticed that over the years, over the decade being in the industry, I've had gradual growth in my business. Every single year, my business has earned more and I've had more success, and the success has become simpler. And it's because of the person that I've become and how I've evolved over those years. Okay, like if I were making the money I'm making now and having the responsibilities and clients I have now 10 years ago, it would not work out. It just wouldn't equate. The person I was not available to that. But as I see the person I've evolved into and grown into over this past decade, it all makes sense when you have that big picture. So that's why I'm sharing this with you now, because I know a lot of you are in that earlier phase of your coaching business and you're like, why are things not working for me? They are working, but they are working on you. Okay, so working on you, these are the experiences that are helping you grow and transform. So when you have challenges and setbacks, these are those learning opportunities. This was not your time to have clients or to make money. This was your time to learn to be more resilient and confident and adaptable. Okay, this was a time for you to go out of your comfort zone and face some obstacles. This was a time for you to shape your character, strengthen your mindset. This was the time for you to get better equipped for when you do have future challenges and opportunities. This is all working on you. Working for you is when you're producing those positive outcomes and having those things, those benefits. So this could be the financial success, it could be personal recognition, it could be achieving your goals. This is when you have all those outer external variables. And a lot of times you want things to work for you, but first they've got to work on you. Okay? So I know that you want it to work for you. I know that you want things to work for you, and they will work for you as long as you first let them work on you. So I want you to think about something right now, a goal that you have, and you're struggling to see it work for you. How is it working on you right now? Ask yourself that question. How are the things you're doing right now? How are those things? How is the work working on you? And you really got to answer that question so that way you stay on track. I know that you want it to work for you, but you're better off when it works on you, because when you become the person who can show up and do the things successfully that you're currently getting better at, then it doesn't matter what happens in the future. It doesn't matter because you become the person who can do the thing. And the most important work I ever do is the work that I do on myself. So what I mean by that is, right, when you go through those earlier stages of entrepreneurship, you learn how to be someone who can solve problems. You learn how to be someone who can make decisions. So I know to this day, it doesn't matter what kind of state of the economy that we're in or what kind of strategy I'm applying. I know that if my whole business collapsed today, I'd be able to get it back up and running in a month. I know that I would be fine. Or if I had to start a new business, I know that I could apply what I've learned and show up as the person I am now and be successful at that. Okay? So the work that you do on you is actually the most important work that you can do. So whether work is working on you or for you, they are both essential in your overall development. Okay, all of those challenges and those tough setbacks you go through where things are working on you, they all contribute to your resilience and your overall improvement. And all those positive outcomes and awards you get, which are the things that work for you, they reinforce your motivation and keep you driven towards your success. So it's important to recognize that both of these aspects, they're not mutually exclusive. So often work that initially feels like it is working on you because of how difficult and challenging it is, it will eventually lead to the rewards and benefits, thus transitioning to also working for you. And similarly, work that appears to work for you might also present some unexpected challenges at some point or some learning opportunities that end up working on you. So these both go hand in hand. And ultimately, both of these aspects of work complement each other and they create for what is a transformational journey that helps shape who you are. Okay? So I go back to my original thesis that work is always working. What if you applied this thesis to your life right now? What if you saw all the work that you do from now onward as work that is always working? What kind of difference would that make for you? How would that encourage you to continue to show up and keep moving forward towards your goals? All right, that's what I got in this episode. Before I go, here's a snippet from one of our students who's inside Thriving Coach Academy. So listen to their story, be inspired, and I will see you in the next episode.
Hi, I'm Christopher Michael. I'm currently a hairstylist in Asheville, North Carolina, and I'm also a student in the Thriving Coach Academy. So when I'm doing hair at the salon, I'm really tuned into my client who's sitting in my chair, and I really enjoy having the conversations that I get to have with my clients because anybody in the salon will tell you anything. And they always told me, you're such a great listener. Like, normally it's like hair and therapy all in one. And so as I was in my own personal development, I realized that the thing I love most about doing hair are the conversations that I get to have with clients as I'm doing their hair. The ability to be like fully present in the conversation with my clients, I could tell had a really big impact on them. And so I started to wonder, maybe coaching is more the direction I want to go. If I could just put the scissors down and just sit there and listen and help people with their lives. And what a great thing that would be to be able to make a difference for people. What drew me to the Academy initially was the energy that I experienced listening to Frank's podcasts. When I learned about all of the things that it offered, I realized that it had the thing that every other program and training program I've been part of was missing. And that's structure and business development and client marketing, doing a podcast, doing a webinar. All of those things have been thoughts I've had in the past. And I was super excited to start this program because there was a lot of training and development in those specific areas. I think my favorite thing about the coaching program or the Academy is all of the practice coaching that we get. I've had a lot of training and coaching and just interacting with people and listening in other programs. But what I love about the Academy is that there's a lot of specific emphasis put on making you get in, just step into the role, just do the practice coaching. And I get to meet a bunch of really great coaches and I get coaching myself, which also helps. And the energy is always fun. It always feels like such a safe place to grow and to learn. And I always leave every call with the experience that the team is just there really supporting what I'm out to create for myself. The fear that I was having about investing in this program was really based on the thought that I don't know that my husband's going to approve, or I don't know if I can actually do it. So it gave me some coaching around that. And I had a conversation with my husband about the possibility of joining the program. And there was nothing there for him about why I shouldn't. It was so easy. So I think in that moment, I realized that the only thing that was really getting in my way was this fear that I had about not being able to do it. So here I am. So I thought just do it. It's an investment and I pay the money and I joined the program. And I have been every time I'm completely blown away. like I've paid tens of thousands of dollars over the years for different programs, and I've received a fraction of the training and development I've gotten in this one in just to what it's been 2 months maybe. And so if you're having the thought that your partner is not going to approve, I would invite you to just have the conversation and show up with the excitement you have for the career you want to create. I'd say my biggest win so far after joining the academy is knowing myself as somebody who is perfectly capable of having a coaching conversation, of building a coaching business, and as somebody who is worthy of the success that I always carried in the back of my mind, that all the practice coaching and mentor coaching and interactions I have with the team, they've been so validating for what I believe to be the case, that I am an awesome person with a lot to give, and that I'm worthy of providing value in every coaching session. What I see that's possible for myself is stepping away from the salon while maintaining the connections I've already built with the clients that I have. So I'm not leaving the business, I'm just leaving the craft of hair. Eventually, I will step away from that, and it will give me freedom where I won't be tethered to a salon. I won't be tethered to a specific chair, that I could travel more, which is what I love to travel. If I could go somewhere tropical and have a coaching call, like in a hotel room right on the ocean, that would be amazing. And being able to get paid while traveling and working and loving what I do. There's great money to be made in the hair industry, but there's such untapped potential, I think, in the coaching industry, where you could be anywhere in the world and be doing this work. You could have clients anywhere in the world and just the push of a button, build a very successful business, making $10,000 a month. Now that I'm in the program, I've been in the program for 2.5 months. It's so obvious to me that the amount of value packed into this program far exceeds. Like, I've been looking for this program for 7 years. I've been in this work 7 years, and this program has like everything that every other program was missing. It was like maybe missing from this program or this part missing from this program, but this Thriving Coach Academy seems to have all of the elements that were missing piece by piece in all of the other programs in the past 7 years. So if you don't want to wait 7 years to discover what's possible, then I would say, like, just throw yourself into it. Throw yourself into it, because it's not just a program. It's like really access to the rest of your life.
Hey, would you like access to powerful coaching tools you can use on yourself and clients right away? For being a listener of the podcast, I'm giving you a VIP guest pass to get a sneak peek into my coach training program. Inside, you'll learn our coaches' secret tool they use to transform their clients' lives. And you'll also get a training on how to launch a coaching business. Just head over to www.thrivingcoachacademy.com/VIP to get started. I'll see you on the inside.